Alright, what's up everybody? Peter here with Viper Futures. It's been a while. I hope everyone's been good. About, since April, since we made our last video. Again, there's all positive reasons why. Have our different investment accounts going. People know me that I do real estate on the side, and I was real busy on a disposition of a property. Worked out really good, and then for the last week we were on vacation out of the country. So, but things are going good. I want to mention a couple of changes going on in Viper, and just to keep things sustained and keep people flowing through in the right kind of systematic process. We had some issues with one of the departments where we wanted to clean that up a bit, keep traders level-headed, keep the right kind of flow of people coming in, the kind of people we want to work with and keep and maintain and grow a global relationship with. So therefore, we'll discuss a couple of quick things. We have on our products, as far as algorithms go, have bumped up our quick strike algorithm. This is a trend following based algo, so of course in chop, in mean reversion, things may not work out for you well, but people use this tool still. We've had dozens and dozens of sales, successful people use them when they feel volatility in directional trading. What's cool about this product now, it also does its own self targets and stops based on built-in average true range ATRs. Now, I and my guys and my traders know I hardly really use algorithmic projects anymore. I built algorithmic projects in my overall decade-plus trading journey, and this systematic trading began around COVID, where I started hiring coders to build out and design ideas I had first on Easy Language at a whole different platform, and now over at NinjaTrader. So that's our one product, and then our group product is called the Multiverse. Multiverse is coined and tagged and named by one of our veteran traders in the room. I asked him if we can borrow that name and keep that name. I think it sounds pretty good. We don't have to make everything sound like snakes. The origin, by the way, of where the snake name came from was our original name, Forte Trader, was stolen and used by another vendor out in Utah. We didn't want to get into the legal mumbo jumbo. We just said let them have it. And then I thought by making the name of Viper, it kind of kept the snaky guys away from us. Because after all, people that really are into selling, they want to maybe not have the name, is what I thought. And hell, I don't know. We've been doing fine with it. I don't care. I name products behind it. Doesn't bother me. My intention, again, really is not all about the sales. It's about building community. We don't make a ton of money in product sales and services. We make our money in trading. Okay? So, let's just make that clear. Now that we've made that clear, let's go ahead and move forward and talk about that. Actually, the Multiverse is going to be a private group. We are separating the Algo Support product group in our Discord to our day trading floor because we want people collaborating, talking, being engaged. When you put skin in the game, you'll be involved, and you'll be surprised if you give it time. You will find that this style helps traders find ideas and build out their theories and models based on what? Auction market theory. At the end of the day, everything is auction theory. I don't care what kind of news events happen. I don't care about anything. Most things that they say are priced in aren't priced in. Market noise, options data and stuff, which still is significant. We may talk about it in a bit. And then also any kind of random events that happen during the day, geopolitical and all. It all somehow is still going to tie down to our bid-ask, our auction market. Now, there's detailed ways of how people do this, really deep detail ways, and I've gone down that tunnel and learned from some of the best. I still work with some of the best in the industry when it comes to order flow. So what I've done is I've built out, at least as of this date of this video, the most simplest way to make a chart, a workspace, and I've purposely discounted things off from auction market theory. In this particular setup, we're going to lean off a little bit away from volume profiling for now because we have different ways that we can build out these kind of volume areas and find ways to get in and out of the market without it getting too noisy, and then we can implement later in the future. So I made a list here of general chart tools and then also their acronyms, and we'll kind of bounce in and out through it, and I'll share this with the guys in Discord. But what we want to generally do, and I'm going to bring up my NinjaTrader. So again, this topic about which platform to use, first of all, comes up a lot. I don't care what you use if you can chart on it well and it's not a resource hog and tying up your system, and that's what works for you. Use what you need to use. Now, I have a system workspace set up on NinjaTrader. However, I only primarily trade off of NinjaTrader now on a DOM. I use TradingView as my main chart. Okay, now in this view, I have a macro view on the right and then an intraday chart on the left. So I use TradingView to view my setups, find my setup, but then also at the end we'll top off with Bookmap order flow. That's what some people call the edge of the sword. That's like my final, that tip of that before I get in, and then once I get in, execute. And if a trade needs to become discretionary, it's based on what I see in the order flow. Can it trick you sometimes? Yes, there's ways to not get too much into the noise of it and become myopic. Anyways, and that what usually helps is your charts. So let's talk about my main tools that I use. I use on my inside time frame, which is a 5 minute. Okay, this is where I initiate things from. Real simple. Let's get back to this chart here. Let's get through some acronyms. So some of the acronyms here that we're gonna work with, and then we'll get down to the indicators. This is just quick referencing. There's a ton of acronyms in day trading, and people can get real crazy about it when it comes to Globex times, electronic hour times, RTH times, and then all within them, there's separate VWAPs and there's separate profiling. We're trying to eliminate that for now. It gets too much. So we want to bring traders in to understand them, see strategies that you can just build just off currently what we're going to show you, which is like initial balance and stuff, and then grow and add. Okay, so there is Globex hours. We're not talking about that. We're talking about ETH, electronic time frame hours. Those are your hours generally before your regular trading session hours here in our New York session or Chicago session hours. Okay, which would then be considered RTH, regular trading hours. So we want to look at things like electronic trading hours, their highs, their lows, the regular trading sessions, highs and lows. We're logging that. We're logging the prior day's high and low. Now, this might sound all cliche and stuff, and people say, what the hell? Let me tell you, it works. It works so good that I think people are just looking for things that sound more complex, and you shouldn't be doing that. Getting back into it, monthly high, lows, in the open and the settle. I look at that. You would think intraday, why would we be revisiting monthly areas? Believe it or not, it happens almost once a week or not. But what happens most of the time is the next thing, and this is my bread and butter, 3-day, 4-day kind of an auction visit that we do, which is our weekly highs, lows, and settle. You'd be surprised how many times market holds at this weekly settles. Of course, then you'll have your daily high, lows, and settles. And then we'll talk about getting to our initial balance. That is the first hour of the regular trading session. There's indicators now that will help you plot these. For my traders, I'll be sharing workspaces via TradingView or NinjaTrader, whichever one you prefer. I still, again, prefer TradingView. It's easier to share. It's easier to view on mobile. It's easier to move around with it. It's also easier to even for indicators, right, to share. It's an open space, and so you're not dealing with people that are building out codes, indicators that are jamming up your computer. That happens all the time. So we have initial balance. What is IBH, IBL? These are things. IB high, IB low. Now, a couple of things that got coined by a different group, so I'll give the credit to the T-Lab group over at Bookmap, is the IBF and the IBC. What is that? It's when initial balance is formed, and I'll show it to you on screen, and price reverses off the highs and lows and goes the other way. Vice versa, the other scenario would be continuation, where we break that the initial balance is high and low, and that now becomes either a support or a resistance, and it sells off as supply and or demand and continues. Okay, so when those happens, we look backwards and we want to look for prior day's IBs and their midpoints as areas of, again, levels. So volume profile, I said we won't be talking about but when you hear the word composite, that's usually your higher time frame volume profile. We'll usually have it on the right side of a screen, and it's dictating back about look back 20 day, 30 day. It's preference. Okay. Additionally, you can have defined profiles that are just broken down into smaller fractals, such as your electronic trading hours or your regular trading hours. We'll not be on this too much today, but these are part of auction market theory, AMT, trading styles. For our macro charts, we're looking at a daily or a 4-hour, but we're coming down and we're drawing monthly and weekly swings. And then again, why I like TradingView is you can lay out an indicator or a line in a higher time frame and then let it plot on your smaller time frame chart. So this is really good. I have two big screens in front of me that equal one big curved 40 somewhat inch wide screen, and I move usually my stuff there between there, and I'll scroll with Bookmap in that. Very hard to trade when you're traveling. I didn't trade at all. I followed the guys. I helped some of the guys. We traded alongside and spoke about markets on my mobile phone. I've just learned if I'm not at my home base, I'm not connected to direct hardwire, fiber optic, 1 gig minimum coming in and out type of internet, I'm usually not an advocate of trading money unless it's a swing trade or I'm managing, like I said, a swing trade in my tastytrade account in a longer term portfolio, shares as such. When we're day trading, I'm quite serious about that. All right, anyway, so we'll show you guys real quick here what a sample of this chart looks. We'll get into the macro part of it, how I draw these. I think we have old videos just showing how we do these. Real simply, if you go and start on your monthly and you start it as a line chart, that's kind of been like my little technique. I'll usually end up drawing, and you can create your own custom colors in the most recent swing highs and lows. I will draw different kind of color lines for those. Same thing on the weeklies. Then when I'm done, I'll come back to a daily and I'll just change that into candles. So that's kind of a shortcut explanation real quick about how I'm coming up with those macro levels. These levels may not hit daily, and that's why these aren't, for intraday. You won't see these levels all the time. You might come once every 2-3 weeks. That's when there's explosions happening. But using that for day trading could be very hard, right? People say, well, I can't. I'm waiting for 2-3 weeks for a level to get there. Well, when you're looking at it in that macro way, that's not day trading. So zooming back out, and we have that there because, again, we swing trade portfolio too. So here, right in front of you, we have two main indicators, and this is the open, high, low, close, okay, which I spoke about. And I pretty much keep the daily, as I mentioned, highs, the low, not the previous close. I keep just, previous day's close I keep off. But when it comes to the weeklies, I got your high, low, and the close there, which is very important. And then again, our monthly high, low, close. Real simple. And our initial balance indicator is here. Again, as I said, the definition of that is the first hour of regular trading sessions, trading hour. And that is that first initial balance, that big flow of traffic that comes in from hedge funds, family offices, whatever they come from. I don't care. This is the big flow of money after that first hour. Order flow traders trade off of these levels. And if you come to our room and you see every day the screenshots after screenshots after screenshots, you'll find literally this opportunity standing in front of you almost every day, if not every other day, a really good home run. And you can make this a tactic within by itself. And as we zoom out, we can still then start creating ideas and finally come down into Bookmap and follow for entries and exits, etc. That's it. So, this is where we start. Now, why are we let's hop over to my Ninja screen. This is the spreader, which we aren't talking about here today. Let's go here to ES. And now I have the same thing basically in NinjaTrader, except I want to talk about here on the side. You see this composite profile I've built, and this goes back about a good 30 days and is tracking all the volume backwards, and it's creating high volume and low volume nodes, LVNs, HVNs. Those would be acronyms. That would be acronyms here. It's HVN, high volume node, and LVN, low volume node. Okay, now these are areas where market did not spend a lot of time in, and therefore thus you can see over time that there were less volume traded, and so it's low volume, and there's little nodes, smaller node, and these are huge where market accepted price and traded inside what you would call retail pricing. Okay, so with that said, though, I have an initial balance indicator in here that is written by somebody I had got for free. I've heard that since then it's not available anymore. This is another thing with NinjaTrader. Things become available and they're not available. Also, the way that they're written, they can really slow your computer down. So I personally, I have it up again as a courtesy for other traders that want them. I still look at TradingView, but we're doing the same thing, replicating the same thing here. In this one, I have several indicators up, basically the prior day's open, high, low, close in the prior week. And I don't have the monthly in here because I can't get that indicator set up. So it's out there somewhere. Again, I didn't pay much attention to the importance because I'm using TradingView. So our order flow volume profile, which is a composite 30 days back. And again, our initial balance. And so this is how we're starting our day. Obviously, from top down, you always want to refresh your mind and look at what's going on at the daily real quick and kind of just zoom down. But intraday, again, there's only so much you can do with the macro chart. But you got to do it to recalibrate your mind on where everything is. There's other things we use that I explore with for almost 2 years. Did a spot gamma, options, data analytics. Currently, right now, I'm testing out for week 2 market chameleon, options and stuff analytics. I like a feature in there they call the large volume burst trade, and they use a plethora of algorithms in there that identifies market imbalances in the S&P. So those are things I use as confirmations. Okay, confirmations. The people say confirmation charts like a small time frame chart, and that would be like that same thing here with Bookmap, right? It's not just the end all be all for us, but that's like final that confirmation we're looking for. I have this tied to rhythmic data. I have it tied to icebergs and stops indicators, so I know exactly when a run is an actual stop. I know exactly, and I can see where there's all hidden market sell and buy icebergs. Again, the stops help me. These are stops. I'll know if there was an anomaly of a big move or a sweep that it was pretty much a stop hunt, because the CME, the exchange, at least the CME exchange, reports via Rhythmic MBO data, market by order, this information by the nanosecond. So I'm able to see that. So that's what we use. And, you know, it's really simplified trading. Again, if you keep your leverage small after that and you build up a system that we have here, that we do and support each other, you'll come up with ways to, you know, make up your losses and keep your winners more consistent on the long term of your portfolio, meaning every week, every month, counting your money then versus a daily thing. It sucks. Losses suck. Stop losses suck. And in any kind of time frame. My recent swing trade portfolio time frame was on Canadian dollar, and now, of course, I bailed out. Market ran up. I can't manage them all. I gotta take my losses. Intraday, you just happen to do them more, so it's a lot more pressure on you. So you need to be with a good group. You need to collaborate with the right people that feel you, that don't act like gods and saints, because none of us are. Not in this business. Okay. And that is it. I actually think we're going to cut it short on this video. I'll give you another preview. Let's talk about NinjaTrader here. That's our VQS. So we have these as templates. This is the VQS for the ES. And this is just basically a directional algo. So, if you had longs on here, you would have caught this. Oh, it's 14 somewhat point run. And again, the targets are set up by average to range. So it's dynamically adjusting your stops and targets for you, which is pretty unique. I think for that kind of price, it's really nice. Additionally, we can give you the workspace. It's just we ask that traders now join the group separately in our room, because the fact that you just have to separate people's interests. One kind of trader does not fit the other kind of trading style. We learned that from years and years of dealing with people, and hundreds of people, by the way. So then we have separated them and asked people to set up themselves separately in that. So that's that. Now, oh, and by the way, if you guys wanted Bookmap, I do have a 3-month Global Plus discount. You get 3 months for 50% off. These are vendor exclusive. I have a personal relationship with the executives and that company, so you can get that through me by clicking on here. It'll take you directly to an order form. So be ready to order. If you're going to go and compare plans at Bookmap, go ahead and do that. Because once you click this link, it just goes to like your typical order form, and that has the discount built in. It gives me credit for that I brought you there, so they can track my performance. But then also I can help you, and I'm helping you save money, because at the end of the day, it's $99 a month times 3, and you get 3 months for $149. It's half off. You can't fail with that. Let's check this out real quick. Make sure these links are working. 3 months of Global Plus. There it goes. And Global Plus, and that's a quarterly. It's a one-time thing, and as you see, it's normally $300, so $100 a month. So you literally get that. Be mindful, you have to add data to that. So once you get the platform, just like TradingView, you need to add data. Just like NinjaTrader, you need to add data. I always wonder why people come to Bookmap and ask, hey, why is it that, I got all this and I don't have the data? Well, you have to add data separately, okay? Whether it's Rithmic, DX feed, or whatever. That's a hell of a deal. Hate to kind of make it real salesy, but I do have to still at least disclose things to you guys so you know what we're about, what we offer. And, so let's go now real quick to our ES chart, and kind of what you'll see here again is how we trade is, we come up set up in the day, and we see that our ETH, our electronic trading hours, traded within yesterday's range. Yesterday we broke down under the IB. The IB low became resistance, supply, sold off every time that it tried to go up through it. So we had a little range after a big run down, and look where we traded down to the bottom of Friday's IB low. So these are very important levels. You can't see it if you're waiting in a macro chart level. You can't see it. You can combine this with your indicators. You can combine it with your order flow. You can combine it with anything like that and make your trade plan out of that. But we all have a base, and we want to keep a structure at Viper Futures with the same kind of thoughts and stuff in mind. Trading style, at least over 50%. We want to be on the same page. All right, now, so what have we done? We came down. IB was formed around this time here. We came back, tested the mid, failed off the top, tested the mid again. You had 10 plus point plays here, even if you front run both levels. What is front run? Well, right before a level, sometime it is true, algos will front run these order flow levels, and there's a ton of other professional traders out there that are doing the same thing. So you can't say, hey, you'll see, hey, why is this a coincidence all the time? There's no such thing as coincidences. When it happens a lot, that's for that reason. So there's people front running, stepping in front of that volume, the liquidity, to get a fill so that you don't take a play up 10 points, comes back down, stops you up 1 point. Breaks out, now becomes support. Now, as far as market imbalancing, I'm not going to bring that up yet. I'll save that for another video, but right now we're up over 500,000, so $500,000 buy side imbalance. Obviously, you see we've had a kind of a mean reversion / long bias day. Where are we coming up to try and test? The weekly prior week settle. This is why that's so important. Now, mind you, you will see some discrepancies on points between some platforms. Why? Because some of the platforms are registering the close price as the bell, and some people register them as settle price. Okay? Settle meaning after that last hour, that reconciliation point and whatnot, and that's your settle price. So it could be a couple points different. Usually it's on the money, it's the same. All right, now we've come up, taking out the overnight highs, usually first target. Another target usually is your mid of the ETH, which we did those fairly easily. I had a stop down here and a winner here, and then I had another long I took here to test the ETH high, and I was done. Only really pulled off today. This isn't about points review today video, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 after commissions, 5 points only today. All right, so anyway, broke on down, IB mid held for support, and yet a couple opportunities there. Now it's almost doing it this again. We're at 15 minutes, almost to the close here, and this is how we would just do it all day long. We'll talk about it, and we'll send some screenshots up and stuff like that. If we see liquidity, I'll share it with people. You know, we're looking for, is there potential targets? Let me filter this down into the Trader Map Lite. Upside towards the 54s maybe. A really, really kind of clear view. We think of what might happen. We just make an assumption. We go with there. Where are we wrong? Right under the IB. Where's their stops? Right under the IB. So, you know, there's two sides playing these kind of markets, and you'll identify and pick the side that you feel more comfortable with most of the day. You know, again, we're mean reversion slightly to the long side in this scenario. We have a closest target is above at that prior week close at 56.52.5. This is how we would probably do our reviews every day. This is how we would trade every day. Take your losers when you have to, and which again sucks. Nobody likes them. I despise them. And then, you know, you take your winners. There's ample room in the market to make money. Maybe not every day, but I like to say every day there is opportunities. Okay, so that's our setups. These are, you know, I just keep saying this. It's been months and months with the guys. These levels are no joke because they're factual, so they're not just subjective. I didn't just make it up. I didn't just draw a line from here to there and make up lines. There's a lot of people making up their own ranges, saying this range is the holy grail. If it works for them, that's fine, because people have become and created mechanical systems for themselves. Versus this stuff is factual data. We're looking at levels, and then we're looking at how the market reacts to those levels. Okay, markets go up big one day. We're looking for markets either consolidate or come back down. That's what markets do. They go up, go down. They go down and go up. Again, these are things, guys. 10 plus years of my combined experience between my older mentors, my newer modern day order flow mentors, my Bookmap guys, my buddies, my colleagues. And so all I'm doing is turning around and sharing it with you. We put a little price on it because, hey, our time is money at the end of the day. Hell, I can tell you many things I spend money on that I think is ridiculous. I mean, anything you touch when you leave your door, it's money. And I've been quite a big target by vendors to keep billing me money. So trust me, guys, we live in an economical world, okay? There should be no offense or insult when people charge a little fee to cover their overheads to keep something going for you, to better you. In return, it betters myself and the crew behind the group, because at the end of the day, Helping, collaborating, and teaching is optimum growth for both sides. It's not just one-sided. You got to want it. You got to have the desire. You got to come in and say, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just trade this way. I'm done. I want to make a few coin, change my life, and we go from there. We have several traders that have done it, completely changed up their quite aggressive trading style into this. And I haven't heard much stress or complaints from them in a while. So, hey, we all have relapses, just like bad habits. I'm guilty for it too, but over time, with growing with each other, you have this sort of responsibility to sustain your consistency, okay? Which we want to see positive outcomes in that. All right, so that's about it. Here's again how our setup is. I will probably load up and start growing this like acronyms chart or whatever to our guys in our group. I'll do that eventually here, but yeah, it's good to be back, guys. It's August 27th from the last time in April. We're trying to also learn ways how to separate again. Algorithmic trading brings on a whole different flock of people. Brings on people that aren't willing to learn this stuff. When combined together, you'd be surprised how great an algorithm can do for you. It's just a tool. It's a tool just like anything else. It's an execution tool that can help you if you're a little bit hesitant. But like I've told our couple recent traders, and they are also clients of the algo, get committed, be involved, let us help show you real trading concepts. You slowly will not use the algo anymore. Okay, that is an understandable doorway entry tool to trading because it's become a big fad in the last decade. Algorithmic. As you're looking on the chart as I'm talking, we saw a pretty good 6-point play off of that IB low. Is it going to hit its target by the end of the close here? We have 10 minutes to close. Market on close orders could be coming in. It could do it in a zap. But what was our highest probability trade? With everything said and done, market imbalance is up. Let me turn this. I gotta pause it to turn this on. Now we're up 567 million buy side imbalance. The utilities are taking a beating, but earlier today, tech was really beating. It looks like technology is really running the show again as usual. That wasn't the case every day. Definitely wasn't yesterday. So again, look at that big sweep, right? Now, how do we know, was that a sweep? Well, we look at our order flow, right? So, didn't want to extend this video any further. I think 30-minute point was just good enough for everybody. You guys should have grasped a good amount of how to set yourself up before you come here, or how even if you're on your own, guys, there's enough information here that can help you set up your charts and templates on initial balances, open, high, low, close for the week, for the month, for the day, and then whatever you use as your confirmation to get in and out of these trades. But yeah, we can see these are stop runs, 68 and then 20, followed by some more passive icebergs. So could we see a big burst here into the close? We can. I don't know if I have another 9 minutes to kill to do this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pause the video and come back. I don't know. I say upper side targets. Again, why? Because we're looking at hitting this finally. Now we're still just Tuesday, really early in the week. Again, yesterday traded mostly inside of Friday's range. Today, all day inside of yesterday's range. So a move is gonna come. But when we got these levels here, there's gonna be some inflections for sure. So target, I think, to the upside by close. It could be a big pop. I don't know. It could be pop back down the side. Bias for me is just that, and this is what we do in the group day in and day out. This morning, multiple traders, we were in different directions, and I believe we all made it. Right? Everybody made some coin. Just look at this again. Normally I have this on my larger screens, so I just had to put everything here for purposes of the video in my main monitor. You got a pending passive seller up here of Iceberg, 58 orders. Some down here, but mostly just a lot of selling happened in the last couple of hours. Definitely going to have probably some profit takers here. 2:53, 7 minutes to close. Most profit taking could have been done already. This is just most likely intraday trading here, with a little bit of soft for the swing icebergs, which has been going on all day. The majority of this video is done, guys, so you can leave if you need to. I'm just going to kind of sit around here and watch the next few minutes this market unfold on the close. Pretty aggressive break into that IB high. See a reaction here by the buyers. Very small. I think sellers are really coming in on this one. Another stop run down there, 27 stops. Now notice on the profile here on the smaller, these are real fractalized profiles now. This little void and this price that has formed between the 43s and 48s. Price gets back above here, gets accepted, it goes back from the outside back in to the other outside. Potential acting as resistance. Any breakdown in here, guys, and it can go down. Here's some absorption that came in, 137 loss of absorption, fighting off the sellers again, which was 265 of those guys. Here's a potential squeeze. Potential needs to break a little bit more up here to take out all these sellers and trap them. These are quite a big amount of sellers, 213, aggressive sellers, 240, and these are not even the passive sellers, which we see via iceberg orders. And when this chart is zoomed out and further back here, is a ton of selling icebergs. Zoom this back up. Price just fluctuating around this VWAP. 5 more minutes to the close. Rinse and repeat, guys. Every day, just the same thing. There's days that just suck, makes your stomach turn, makes you feel like you wasted all day just to get a couple of points, or maybe lose a couple of points. And there's just days you just make your money so early that you can come back in and then you're just making. Then there's days you give back, and then you take back, and you give back. It's different kind of days. They're all subject to your same plan. You just stick to the same plan, but the day will change up on you because markets are just, they'll move differently. You know, to get to a destination, how does the market move? You know, these destinations long today were quite pain in the butt. My long today getting stopped was the first thing that already pained me up. Then I kind of broke even and then made another trade. But to get to destinations, it's been hairy. Again, we look at economic calendar just once real quick in the morning. We want to make sure what to dodge. News don't mean much. It's just you got to really be sure you're out of the way so you don't get swept. You know, when liquidity drops, you'll get swept really nasty. So you got to just stand on the side real quick, unless you're gambling. Now, holding up, but seller is still kind of dominating, at least since past lunchtime. micro kind of structured, more downtrend in this uptrend. So this break here can come in and hurt people, and you can have this real artificial, anomalous kind of pop. You would have literally had to be in the trade kind of a behavior. We've seen this a lot before. You see buying coming in here. Now sellers absorbing this all. So really nasty battle it's been most of the day. You got 2 minutes to the close. I feel this high is going to get hit, but it might get zapped. Literally, you would have had to be in the trade by now and have your target set. Now, where do you put your stop? Depends on how long ago you were in this. If you were just getting in it, you know, it's tight. You know, you're working at the top here, and your stop is right under the IB low. Point of control has shifted to the lower side. Price staying under point of control. We need to get above and over, and then you'll get your pop. So market on close orders. Sellers absorbing and absorbing the buying. Same 49 to the 52s. If it even hit 52, it'll be a real fast zap. Ton of sell liquidity, guys. Look at those sellers. Pressing that price down. Not allowing that. You can see the imbalance on the books. More selling than buying. You can see a small push from buyers coming in. Now a little bit harder. A little more aggressive. But now this is pretty much the spot where the market closes. That's it. So, but if we were watching this, for the most part, guys, this was a heavy zone. It didn't want to move anywhere since 1 o'clock today, and we knew that, right? In our room, we were talking about that. Our guys already took off around here. There's your long consolidation of nothingness. But again, you had moves here, guys. 41 to 46. If you want to, if that's what you do. You scout for a smaller amount of points. You still have a system here to trade, you know, like a model off of, okay? We want to know when to get out, when to get in, when to not be trading, when, you know, what your bias should be, which direction is going to have more momentum on your side, okay? We discussed bias side imbalance. We see that we're technically mean reversion slightly up to the upside. So we take longs, you know, and, you know, this is the close, guys. And, you know, you could have done this rotationally in and out. So making 5 points, 10 points on ES, guys, shouldn't be a very big deal. All right, that's it. That's our trade system for now. It's August 27, 2024. This is what we're working with. You want to join us? Please send us a message or whatever you feel like doing. Somebody asked me the other day that messaged me if trading is hard, if the system is hard. It's however you want to define it. You know, we can't answer that question necessarily for everybody. Just because legal reasons, you know, you just might never get anything. Or it might take you 10 years and take another guy a year. So it's hard to answer a question, is it hard or not? It's more of an emotional thing that can get hard because there's money involved. But I think for the most part, the systems itself could be simplified for everybody. They should be counted as simple. All right. So again, welcome back, Viper Futures, and we'll hope to meet you all. See you in the next video and stuff like that. Happy trading, safe trading. Again, I tell the guys, have fun with it. All right, bye.